let's kick things off. So this is the live AMA with Terra on Terra Obscura. It is a project building on Mutable X. They have some very, very cool art that they will share with us today. And we have here today the co-founder, Terra.
Hi there.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Would love if you could introduce yourself to the crowd.
Sure. My name's Terra, or Gregg is my real name. I'm from the UK, but I live in New Zealand now. Yeah, I'm part of some big art communities here in New Zealand, part of the Burning Man project. So that's where a lot of the inspiration for this came from. But maybe we'll get into that shortly.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds super cool. And next is, could you tell us a little bit about how you got into NFTs before we get into Terra itself?
Yeah, sure. I've been investing in crypto for about 5 years now, and always came from a day trader point of view. And just last year, I kind of always didn't really want to dip my toes in the NFT scene because I wasn't really too sure about the technology. But then during a COVID lockdown last year, I just had some free time, so I did a bit of a deep dive and actually came to realize what massive potential the technology has. So yeah, from then I was just kind of hooked, basically.
Oh, wow. So you're an artist, but when you got introduced to crypto, it wasn't through art at all.
No, I'm a secret nerd. I do all sorts of things, but when I first heard about crypto, I think it was maybe like 2013, something like that, 2012. And I remember seeing Bitcoin for, like, I don't know, $5 or $6 or something like that. And I remember seeing Ethereum advertised on uTorrent for like cents on the dollar,
Oh,
and
wow.
and I remember like thinking right then, like, okay, if there's a time to get in, it's probably now. And then I didn't. And by the time I got around to actually like getting involved in it, we're still not late even now, but yeah, I saw the way the world was going, and I just can see what absolutely awesome technology it is. So yeah, you'd be a fool not to be involved, in my opinion.
That's amazing. And then you said you got started NFTs while in lockdown during COVID situation. How was that journey? When did it click that, oh, okay, I actually want to try this out?
Yeah, so I'm part of an investment group on Discord, and a lot of those guys were getting involved in a lot of the Solana NFTs. And like I said, I kind of shied away from it before because for somebody that doesn't really know much about it, and you're just like, well, hundreds of dollars for basically like a JPEG, like what the hell? And I guess what I could see after I did a bit of research is it's not really actually anything to do with JPEGs. It's about the technology, and that's just the phase that we are in right now. So yeah, I ended up buying a Solana Doge. That was my very first NFT, and then I held on to it for a little while and sold it a few weeks later, doubled my money, and that gave me the like capital to then go and buy a few other things and make a bit more money. And then yeah, I don't know, after a while I was interested in becoming an artist for another project, and that just kind of went on and on, didn't really go anywhere. And then in the end I was just like, why am I bothering to like put all my effort into this project that isn't really doing anything? I might as well just do my own. And I guess like concurrently to that, I'd also been playing with this amazing AI art technology. So yeah, I just decided to combine the two.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, how did art plus NFTs plus AIs come about?
Um, it's an interesting one. This AI technology, the art creation technology, is really in I think it's in its second generation now. And it's really just such a phenomenal thing once you start playing with it, and then once you get past the initial stage of, okay, I understand it now and I understand how to use it well. Like, it is just such an incredibly phenomenal technology. But at that point, still, I wasn't really thinking about using it for NFTs. I was just thinking about using it for the things that I do in my real life. to do with like the real life DAOs that I'm part of. And then I guess part of me sort of thought, like there's all of these metaverses coming up, and what I can see is that we have this, like, we have almost this explosion on the horizon of people that are going to be introduced to crypto, to NFTs, to metaverses. It's really just a matter of time, in the next few years it's going to happen. And what I can see is that, especially for metaverses, there's a lot of hype around it, but as far as I can see, there's not really a lot of content for metaverses. You can go in there, sure, you can have a metaverse dwelling, and you can show your mates and be like, hey, I made this, and like, all good. But then what do you do? And so the idea behind what we're up to is to create like a content for the metaverse, so that you can either create imagery and in there, or you can even eventually you'll be able to go into a metaverse setting and create art within that metaverse setting. But yeah, just as everything came together, it just seemed so natural. We didn't start our project with the idea of, okay, I would like to make some money, so I'm going to start an NFT project, and then be like, okay, so now I need some art, so where am I going to go and get that from? And then, okay, what's the buzzwords? I need a utility token, and I need a DAO, and so on. What happened with us was, I was like, okay, I have this amazing utility that I've been using that creates amazing art. Maybe I could integrate that into the NFT scene. And so then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, I run a DAO in real life, or help to. So how about we just take this system that I'm used to, and create like an art community, and open up our AI tools to the community so that they can make art and make money off of it. And then how is that going to work? Well, actually, we need a utility token to make that work, because then people can accrue that to use our system. And we actually need a DAO, because as an art community, that's what it is. It is a DAO. And so everything kind of just slotted into place as I started to think about it, and that's where we're at right now, is in development of it all.
Got it. There's actually quite a lot of things there that I want to deep dive on. First is, you were telling us about the metaverse lacking content and how you want to fix that. So are you saying you want to bring this into some sort of like content as a service platform or something like that?
Yeah, so the idea is that within the next couple of months, you'll be able to go onto our website. You'll be able to completely use our AI engine as freely as we do. We're just developing the APIs right now, so that it's an easy thing to do, and you're not just using Python code, which is what we're doing. And yeah, you'll be able to create art, you'll be able to mint your own art, you'll keep all the secondary royalties from it. And then, so a bit further down the line, what we want to aim towards is that you can do that exact same thing, but you can do that from within a metaverse setting. And
Wow.
and I've actually been talking to a Unity developer. Did quite a big deep dive with him last night about whether it's possible, and he was just like, he said, "Dude, like, it's quite a big scope what you're trying to achieve, but I love it, and it's totally possible." He said to me, like, it's going to take a little while, and I was like, "Look, we've got a while. The metaverses aren't even ready yet."
Fair enough. Like, when you say you can create your own content, is it like a piece of wall you put on your digital world, or is it literally your AI engine can create whatever kind of parameters or even avatars or whatever? What's the possibilities here?
So there's different AI engines. They're all different types of GAN engines, and so the one that we use is really good for creating kind of environments and kind of abstract art. You can
Mm.
take an idea, pretty much anything you can think of, and you can put it into the AI engine, and it will spit you out a piece of art. There are a couple of constraints with it because of the way it's created. So it's not very good at creating animals or people, and that's because if something's labeled as an animal or a person in an image, then it can know what that is, but it doesn't necessarily know how it's made up. So you tend to get like animals with multiple eyes and legs and things.
Mm.
But
Right.
that's just purely a problem which has to be overcome, and it's not even that hard to do. You just use a different engine that's trained in a different way, and that'll be something that will be brought online, down the line. That's probably one of the first extra engines that we'll be bringing online because it's something that people have been asking for. Um, but yeah, essentially, anything you can think of, you just put into it. And once you understand the logical way in which the engine works, then it's a really powerful tool, really powerful tool.
Got it. So where do you want to take this project to once you have those APIs ready? Or do you want to sell it to like gaming companies? Or what's the vision here?
Um, it's not so much selling it to gaming companies, it's more we're really community based.
Mm.
So the general idea is that we're going to create an art community. Everybody within our community will be able to use the system, and we will continue to develop the system to make it more powerful and more dynamic. But essentially, we'll be running competitions. We'll be opening up the IP to the people that are using it. So, for example, I have one of our community members right now. He holds quite a lot of our pieces. Um, I'll go into why in a minute, but essentially, the more pieces you hold, the more credits you accrue, and then so the more you can use our system. But he's actually building a business based on our system, where he's going to be doing like team building exercises for other businesses. So
Ah.
there's quite a lot of scope for different things, but as an overall view, what we would like to build is an art community where people are using our system to make art. They're collaborating with each other, and a bit further down the line, what we would like to do is create a IAO launchpad, initial artist offering launchpad, so that
Interesting.
if you have developed a particularly good style, if you have like um you've created 50 images and you're like, wow, I'm really happy with these 50 images, you can then apply to us and the community will vote on whether it gets launched, and then we'll actually launch that collection for you using our back end system. um, and in a way, we hope to become a little bit like art blocks, where every now and again, once a month, say, one of our community members will launch a collection, and we'll have a really good reputation because the quality of the art that's coming out is so good. And
Mm.
then it just from there, it can really spiral into so many different possibilities.
How does that work though? Maybe you could walk us through. If you're an artist and then you have 50 pieces, that's very, very good. What's the benefit of plugging into your backend? Your system is an AI art creation tool, right? So how does that plug into 50 pieces that the artist has?
So the idea is that if you're an artist, then you can use our system to create the art, right? Not
Mm.
everybody not everybody is a whiz on Photoshop. Not everybody has the time um to learn how to create like really good digital art. And so that's where we kind of fill that gap, because you can create like an awesome piece of art in about 30 seconds, and the more you understand how to use the AI, the more powerful and basically the better the art becomes. um so that's the gap that we fill, is like the people that really want to be part of the art scene, but they don't necessarily have those years of experience behind them. And so once you have discovered how to create a certain style within the system, then we can come along and say, like, if you're happy with those 50 pieces that you've made, then we can do the technical stuff to help you launch that.
Ah, I see. So if this artist comes in, they need to learn how to use the APIs and stuff. It's not like they will create something in pen and paper, submit that in, and then somebody will implement their art somehow with your APIs.
Yeah, that's correct. Like, it's literally as simple as typing a sentence into a box, and depending on what you type is you get different things that come out.
Awesome. I hear that we're gonna do some sort of demo today, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so what I'd
Um,
actually like to do, like, I'm happy to
yeah.
continue answering questions, but
Mm.
I thought whilst we do that, we could start to put some of the art that's been requested out into the text channel.
Yeah, that sounds
Um,
great.
so we had some requests from your Discord server, so we've rendered those up so we can put those out. And then if there's anybody else in here that wants to try rendering a phrase, then yeah, we're happy to do that live for you here as well. We could please just keep it to like one per person, because it takes a little while. But yeah, we're going to start dropping some art in the text channel right about now, and then we can just carry on with the questions as that comes out, if that works.
Awesome. How do you want the audience to interact, Terra? Do you want them to just look at the Terra game channel or the events text channel?
I think the event text channel is probably the best channel for now.
Got it.
So
Got it.
Yaydawg is just gonna start in dropping those in now.
Oh, nice. Look at that. So art, cat house, power rugby keg, judge, coterie, stuff, lyrics.
Yeah, so this is a good example of, it literally creates what you ask it to. So that's a
Oh,
collection of, whatever, 10 words, but they don't really relate to each other that well. And so the AI will just literally take what you give it and create art from it. And if you can come up with like a cohesive, descriptive sentence that really the AI can grab hold of in a literal form, then there's some really cool stuff that can come out.
it's super cool. I want to tweet it right now and just say, hey, we're creating art live in this
Yeah.
AMA. Amazing. So how long does this engine take from the text to the art?
About a minute.
Oh wow. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. We've
Uh,
so it's based, to be completely transparent, it's based on some open source code. We didn't develop this from the ground up. It's based on some open source code, because most of these engines, these GAN engines, they're all open source, right? But what I found when I started using it was there was only really maybe 1 in 5 images when I was using it that came out looking good. And so one of the first things I did, this was before we were interested in NFTs or anything. One of the first things I did was to try and just alter the engine a bit so that it was more reliable. So we have now probably maybe like a 90 to 95% hit rate for images that are keepers,
yeah,
which
nice.
which as far as I think that's probably the most reliable GAN engine that at least I've used.
How will this work moving forward? Is the style always going to be like this, or will you be having like an artist will be able to choose the type of style that their artworks are produced in?
I mean, you can literally ask for anything. If part of your sentence is, like black and white, then the image will come out black and white. If part of your
Ah,
sentence is something even as specific as a type of camera film, then the AI knows what the characteristics of that film is, and so it will recreate that when it creates the imagery.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, got it. So the trick here is to play with the game or the AI to see how it builds things based on what you say, and then you create your own series or collection based on that. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
That's fascinating. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
sorry, I was
so, so just to do you see there's like the second picture back that's just been posted by Yaydawg? That was entering a glowing forest with a large waterfall. Explorer discovers galaxy. So
right.
that's a really good example of a good phrase that the AI can get hold of. It's very descriptive, but it gives a little bit of almost like narrative text in there, so that you can see that it's actually got an explorer in there, and it's got glowing waterfalls, and so that's a good example of like a good sentence.
Nice. Gosh, I'd love to play with this as well. Amazing. Okay, I'm getting sidetracked a little bit.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a few more questions.
sure.
One is the sale has closed since launch. Do you plan to open sales at any point?
We've got like a so after the public launch, we closed our sale as part of our agreement to kind of look after our community, so that
Mm,
if anybody needed the liquidity, then they wouldn't be fighting against our minting price.
right.
Um, so what we're doing now basically is we're opening up private sales to communities as and when we want to. So quite often what I do is just open the sale up when I do these AMAs. So we're happy to do that today for you guys as well, if that's something that you think could be good. I don't know.
That's amazing. How does the sale work? Do people buy an artwork or do the people buy something else?
Yeah, okay. So let me explain that a bit. So
Yeah.
so the idea is we've got 5,000 pre-generated pieces of art, and for each one you hold, you generate utility tokens. Now, though that is active from the moment that you buy it, and the people that have bought back in our public launch, they're accruing tokens right now. We're building out
Mm,
the system to deliver that, but we're keeping track of when people bought. So at some point in the next probably month, people are gonna get an airdrop of tokens. So once you have these tokens, then you'll be able to spend those on our engine to create art. That's generally the simplified version of how we work. And
uh,
then the tokens also have like a lot of other different utilities that we're building in, which we can go into if you want, but just to explain how the image generation works.
yeah, for sure. I think that sounds very interesting for the people here. So, if I understand that correctly, for example, if I buy one piece of art today, by next month, will I be able to create one or two or three of my own artwork?
Um, with the system we're kind of working on right now is um, that you'll be generating about 10 tokens per week for each NFT that you hold, and then to like make an image with our AI will cost maybe one or two of those tokens. We still have to whittle down our tokenomics to make sure we're on top of it all. But you can basically make as much art as the amount of credits that you've got, and then if you run out, you can just buy some more. You know, and to make an NFT, there'll be a small charge to cover our back end services costs,
Mm,
and then potentially like a chunk of tokens as well, just to go with that. And that's basically a burn mechanism so that we don't become incredibly inflationary.
amazing. And you mentioned you plan to have other things to be used for with your credits or tokens?
Yeah, so you'll be able to use the tokens to pay for the art, and you'll need a certain amount of them to mint as well. But then there'll be other burn mechanisms as well that we can bring in. So one of the ones that we're going to bring in a bit further down the line is that for our launch pad, say we have 3 different artists that want to launch a collection. What you'll be able to do as a community member is actually vote for those people with our tokens. So you'll be able to say, okay, I have like 100 tokens in my bank. I really like this collection, and I would like to get a whitelist spot for this collection. So then you can actually vote for this person and say like, okay, 50 of my tokens are going to vote for this artist, and
Got it.
if they win, then you'll be assigned a certain number of whitelist tokens. Whitelist places, depending on how much you voted, you know. And if they don't win, then you get your tokens back, and it carries on. So that's like one burn mechanism that's built in, and then we have like plenty of other things that we can bring in as well, in terms of how you can use the tokens with different engines that might be brought in, or we've got a couple of guest artist sets coming up. So one of them is Fidel. I can't remember his Twitter handle, but it's the photographer Fidel, and he's actually going to create his own custom set with us, and we'll probably sell that via the tokens or do an airdrop for people for some of the community as well. So we've got plenty of ideas basically of how the tokens can be used, and it's not, just it's got real utility, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Got it. And all this is from holding these artworks that you're selling, right? So the more people hold, the more tokens they get, and the more stuff they can do with
Yeah,
those
yeah.
tokens.
That's it. And we also have a golden membership, so that's for the community members that have supported us from the beginning. So if you mint a piece from us and you don't put it up for sale, then you'll automatically be qualified for our golden membership, and that
Mm.
you'll basically be getting a lot of free airdrops over the coming year or two from that. Our artist here, Yaydawg, she's actually in the middle of producing our first set of airdrops, and they're looking absolutely stunning. I might try and get her to. She's saying not yet. Okay, in a little while, I'll get her to upload some of those. But we're making a set of Twitter banners, um, and you'll see what I mean by when you get used to how to use this AI, you can really create some stunning art. So
I'm
those will be going out to all of our golden members for free, and this will be like an ongoing thing as we move forward. I'm
amazing.
just
I would love to see a sneak peek. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna drop the minting site right now,
Yes.
just in
Yes,
case
please.
anybody else wants, and we'll probably leave that open for the rest of the day, I would say.
I'm looking at it now. Cool. Um, I was gonna ask one more thing. So, aside from holding, is there any difference with regard to the art that you buy and hold to the benefits that you get? Like, do you get more tokens for a specific artwork, or do you get specific? Like, are there rarities? I guess is what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah, so we actually did a full set of rarities for these, and that was something that we wanted to do because for me as an NFT collector, just aside from being like the founder of a project, as an NFT collector, it's one of those things that I really enjoy about NFTs is having a rarity set and having that thing of like, oh wow, like how rare is my piece going to be?
Mm,
Um, so it's a little bit difficult when you create our whole collection are one of ones. Like I don't know if there's
right.
another project that's really done that to this scale. But every single one of our images is a one of one. but it is based on a set of rarity attributes. And so we've got 8 different categories. We've got over 80 different rarity attributes. But those will not affect the amount of tokens that you accrue. We kind of want everyone to be on a level playing field as far as that goes. So it's more of kind of like a bonus feature. And believe me, you know, when other projects create rarity sets like that, it's as easy as, okay, generate the rarity set along with this at the same time as generating the imagery. For us, we had to manually create every single JSON file. We had to go along with spreadsheets and assign rarity attributes to 5,000 different images. So it was like a hell of a lot of work. But yeah, something that we wanted to do because I don't know, I just feel like it gives it that extra little little bit of a thing for what I would want in an NFT, I guess.
Got it. How does the rarity in your set afford itself? Is it like a special element in an art, or is it like a watermark or something like that?
No, so we have our Genesis set is landscape based.
Mm.
So this engine in particular is really good at creating kind of like gamified looking, semi-real, like semi-unreal landscapes. So the way that our rarity set works is basically if it's rare in real life, then it's rare within our set. Um, and so, you know, like some of the more common ones might be like a mountainous region or valleys or rivers or lakes or something like that. And then as you get more rare, you get into the kind of like intergalactic landscape, and you have like treasures in there like sapphires and gold. And then just as a nod to the you know, the way that a lot of sets have like zombie versions of their
Yeah.
PFPs or like virtual, you know, some of them are wearing like virtual reality goggles or whatever. We did like a little nod to that. So we actually did some zombie versions of landscapes, and we did some virtual reality landscapes and stuff like that. So just to keep things like a little bit fun, you know.
Awesome. Yeah. Looking forward to that. y- I heard that there's a game that goes through with your art, that goes along with your art. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So sure. I'll come to the game in a second because we're going to do a giveaway where we're going to show you the bot that we've been developing, and we're going to give away maybe like 1 or 2 NFTs. Um,
Ooh.
our artist here is um, our artist here is ready to show you some of the sneak peeks for the upcoming airdrops. So I'll just get her to drop some of those.
Awesome. Do people have to do anything?
Okay, it's going to take a little while, so we'll carry on with the game bot, and then we'll come back to those when they've uploaded.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Just want to also, yeah. So somebody asked how to mint, and I just wanted. There is like one thing that is quite important, which is if you go to the minting website, which was a link I dropped. The only thing you need to make sure is that you have pop-ups enabled, because if you don't have pop-ups enabled, then it won't work. But yeah, you just have to have Ethereum in your L1 ERC20 wallet, and then um, sign the things to connect to IMX, and it's pretty straightforward from there. So,
Nice.
in terms of the game that we've developing, I'll just tell you a little bit about it. So, during the launch period, we had this game going where we would take one of our pieces of art and we would just chuck it up and say like, if this has been made with 5 different words, if you can guess those words, then you get a whitelist spot. And it was kind of like a fun little game for the community, and a good way to get whitelist spot and just to like engage with people. And it's a little bit like Gartic, if anyone has played that game. So we were doing that, and for each guess that people got right, we would give a little emoji, like a 1 or a 2 or a 3. And then after our launch, I was like, well, like that could actually be a really cool Discord bot that people could use in their server. So we put it out to the community, and one of our community members, Amon, stepped forward and said, like, I think I can do that. And he's just absolutely smashed it. He's made a really awesome Discord bot that we are just in the final phases of beta testing. So we thought we would bring it here today and give you guys a chance to check it out and like play the game, and the winners can win some NFTs. We thought that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's good. Let's get to it. Let's let the people play.
Yeah, so if you go into the Terra game channel, if anybody that wants to try this out and win some NFTs, then if you want to go into the Terra game channel, and if Amon is here, then I'll just explain this to you very quickly. So once we start this game, what you have to do is you have to guess the 5 words that the image has been made up of. Now, what you have to do is just write 5 words with a space in between. If you do anything else, the bot will delete what you've written. And then you get an emoji, and it tells you like how many guesses you've got to write. And then, based on what you can see from other people, then you have to try and guess, like what the 5 words are. So let's give it a go.
Super exciting.
And if anyone else has got other questions, you can chuck it in the other channel, and I'll just continue to answer them as we go. Yeah, so as time goes on, we're going to release this. So this is like a single server version of this bot right now, and we're just using this in our server, and we're sort of beta testing it. But what we're going to actually do is release this as a multi-server bot so that anybody can have it in any Discord. And we have a system as well by where if you guess one answer correctly, then you get awarded some points, and if you guess all 5 correctly, then you get awarded some points as well. And this is tracked over time, and you can see your your progress. So I already know like the Nifty Nuggets want to use this bot in their entrance, so that people have to get a certain number of wins on our bot before they can progress into the server.
That's amazing. Interesting. How does it work to run a game? Is it just does a game just start every minute, or do you need to pay credits to start a game or something like that?
No, there's no credits. You just there's a little button that will show up once the last game is finished that just says play again, and you can click that button and it will start up. Or you can use the command and go, and that will start the game as well. I was just going to say, it's our hope. Like, this is actually like a marketing tool for us, basically. So we developed this so that this can be used in any Discord server, anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to even be NFT related, but it, people can use this, and then there's just like some little link back to us. Nice, who won?
Top players.
Mackit. Sweet, well done, Mackit. You win a free NFT.
Congrats, Market. So amazing. I love this as a marketing tool. This definitely gets the people going. What's the plan? Like you get people interested and then you plug into a game, you charge for a game. What's happening here?
No, we're not going to charge for it. It's literally just this is going to be given out as a free bot that people can use, and there's a couple of commands you'll see when you start a game, or you'll see on that end there it will say credits go to terraobscura.ai, bot developed by Amon, and so just at the start and at the end of games, there's a little reminder that we're the creators of this, and then there's also a command where you can find out a little bit more about us. And so it's our hope, if this gets into some of the Discord servers that have like 100,000 gamers in, like a certain amount of those are gonna be interested in what we're doing, and especially as NFTs take hold a bit more and this technology becomes a bit more mainstream, that it's just going to add to our exposure, basically.
Yeah, I definitely see that happening. What in terms of like getting into these servers with thousands of people, what are your plans around NFT gaming? Like how do you expand from here?
Essentially, like the idea is like if you can create a fun game like this, then people will just want it in their server anyway. Like look at the people that have like Gartic in their server, not because they want anything to do with the Gartic project, but just because it creates engagement tools for their server.
Got it. In terms of your overall system, though, how do you see it plugging into a game, like with your APIs, or do you have any bigger plans with NFT gaming in general?
In terms of like NFT gaming, like we probably won't take it down the Discord bot side of things. Although if we have a good idea, then we'll totally do it. We're setting ourselves up so that we have all the developers that we need to do the things that we need to do. So, we have Amon that has developed this Discord bot. We've got another developer who specializes in Unity. We've got another one who does a lot of back end stuff. And then we have our two main developers that are working on the AI engine right now. So we're trying to sort of cover all bases with what we're capable of, and really like my role is as a creative, I guess a creative leader and problem solver. So I'm not a developer, but I'm just kind of like an advanced computer user. But my strength is that I can take ideas and kind of like filter out what's a good idea and what's a bad idea, and whether it's possible, and make it happen, basically. So yeah, that's what we want to do, and so a bit further down the line, like we were talking about, we'll have this as an integrated metaverse service, so that you can go in with your friends into a makerspace and you can actually create art, and then you can either take that and then put it on your wall in your metaverse setting, or you can sell it in the art gallery that's attached to our makerspace, or basically the world's your oyster at that point, and it depends where this technology takes us. But just as an example, we are also working with a girl called Mona who works at Weta Workshops, and they're the people that do all the CGI for like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and all of those like high-end Hollywood films. And she is doing her master's right now in 3D environment design, and part of that is creating height maps for 2D images. So the long and the short of what I'm saying is that we're trying to find a solution to make our 2D images into 3D environments, and that's just one of our side projects that we have going on right now, because we know that that's a long-term thing, but just to show you the scope of what we're trying to do in the future.
That is amazing. And I see that Yaydawg has already shown us some of the banners. That looks cool.
Yeah, so if everyone wants to jump back into the event text channel, then this is some examples of the art she's been making for the Twitter banners. We're gonna have basically all of our airdrops are gonna be unique one of ones, and we're not gonna. I guess what we want to do is always deliver as much value as we can to our community. Like we could make 10 of these, and we could drop, like 10 across our community. But what we want to do is create one individual one for everyone. So yeah, this is just like a small sample of the 1,000 or so that we're creating for you guys.
Amazing. Is that kind of like a derivative of the art that they already hold, or this is all totally unique?
These are all fully unique. Yeah.
Ah, amazing.
Yeah, so there is nudie branches, Reem, yeah.
Cool. I think that's everything. I don't see any other questions from the crowd. Was there anything you wanted to share and the crowd to take away, Tara? before we start wrapping up?
Yeah, I guess not really too much more. Like we've given a pretty good overview of what we're up to. Just I guess to for anyone that's kind of new to us, it would be great to come and have you in our community. Like we're a really friendly, like non-hype driven, non-grinding community, and that's the way that we were always built. Um, like I never wanted to have bots or fake accounts in our server, so we never did the leveling or the invite competitions. So as a result, like we've created like a really awesome, friendly little community, and it'd be great to have people in there. Yeah, we're working full time on about 7 different things concurrently right now, and we're looking to launch most things within the next like 1 to 2 months. So we've just got a whole load of stuff that I'm really excited about within the next like short while.
Ooh, tell us more about that. What's the next big launch that people should be excited about?
Okay, so we have our staking system coming up pretty soon. That's going to be one of the next things that's ready. So when that comes out, you'll be able to stake your Genesis NFT, and that will mean that that will be our official system for accruing the tokens. So you stake your NFT, and then we'll have a Discord bot that in the meanwhile. Until IMX has a ERC20 integration, then we'll have a Discord bot, so you'll be able to see the amount of credits that you're accruing. And then so staking is coming soon. We're going to have our Discord bot to show how many credits you have, but then also give you the roles of golden membership. And so then with your golden membership, then you will be eligible for the airdrops such as these Twitter banners here. So that's another thing that's happening. We're roughly like a third of the way through doing the artwork for these Twitter banners. So they will be dropping sometime within the next kind of like few weeks as well.
Got it.
The AI engine is in constant development at the minute, so we realize that that's our main utility, and people are really keen to get to start using that. But we just want to make sure that our two main developers are very methodical, and they're both professionals, and they want to make sure that it is fully working and really good when we bring it out. So that's our main focus right now, is getting that ready for you guys and not just rushing it and doing a pixelmon and like releasing something that's just completely awful. So that's another thing that's in the pipeline. We're going to be doing a set of art competitions soon. So this is something I haven't actually told anyone yet, but within the next
Ooh,
kind of week, I'm going to be launching an art competition. So anyone that's in our server can come and drop a sentence, and we'll render everything up, and we'll run an art competition, maybe using a guest judge, and then the winner gets a free NFT. So yeah, we've just got a few things like for everyone within the next few weeks.
amazing. And you mentioned the gold membership. For people who weren't able to catch that, how do they become a gold member? Do they just mint in your site right now?
Yeah, so basically if you mint and you don't put your piece up for sale, that is a sort of like an investor, or like a boon that we're giving to our early investors that believe in us. So if you don't put your piece up for sale, then you get golden membership status. We'll have that bot up soon, so that you can obviously have that role within our Discord. But yeah, you don't actually have to do anything. All you have to do is mint, basically. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. So for those who are curious, we put in the link to that again in the chat. And that is it. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tara.
Yeah, all good. And we'll be doing so I'll leave I'll leave the minting link open for today. We're usually leaving it closed. And then what we're going to be doing is doing like private sales maybe like once a month or something like that. So if anybody so any of our community can any of our community can buy during one of those private sales. So if you're already in our